Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful day it is. It's absolutely fabulous to be here this morning and to open Griffith Manor Park. It is absolutely a beautiful park, and I think it's just in time. Look how hot it is today. Summer is here. It will be a good time to have this beautiful park with all these mature, gorgeous shade trees to keep you cool when you're in the park. This has been such a fun renovation to watch because of the fact that all of these mature trees were able to be saved and moved around and keep all the shade here. Some of the improvements to this park include a 26,000 square foot community building, expansion of the existing play area with additional play equipment, and a new tot lot play area with its very own shade canopy. There's also new park benches, a picnic shelter, a shade shelter, a picnic table, a barbecue unit, and new trash receptacles, plus drinking fountains and new concrete walkways with lighting. I think one of the things that's my favorite part is the lighted basketball court. I bet that's used probably every minute the lights are on. There's a 17-stall parking lot, which is going to be great for people that want to visit the park. And I love the fencing around here. This decorative steel fencing is absolutely beautiful. And I think it really adds a lot to the park. Of course, there were landscape and irrigation improvements and things we don't see to make the park better. But what we do see is absolutely fabulous. This project was funded by the Glendale Redevelopment Agency. It started in September 2010, and it came in on time and on budget in May 2011. The general contractor was Electro Construction Corporation of Los Angeles, with Ray Drexler as president and Barry Greenstein as president of Landscapes Incorporated. The landscape architect was Hirsch & Associates of Anaheim, and Patrick Hirsch is the principal of that company. I'd like to introduce, well, I guess I actually didn't introduce myself, did I? I'm blaming this on Rodney because he said it would be nice if I made a mistake or two. So this is my first one. My name is Laurel Patrick, and I have the great pleasure and the honor of being on the Community Service and Parks Commission. And so that's why I get to open this today and introduce some other people. So I want to introduce my fellow commissioners that are here today. We have, in order, Vartan Garpetian, Rodney Kahn, and Dottie Sharkey. And we're all very, very happy to be here today. Do any of my fellow commissioners? Okay. In that case, I'm going to introduce you to Mayor Laura Friedman.
It's wonderful to see all of you here today. The timing for the opening of this park is very appropriate because, as you all know, the 4th of July is just a few days away. We are just a few days shy of our 235th anniversary of our nation's founding. And this park is probably the oldest park still in existence in the city of Glendale. It was purchased in 1937 and has only had one renovation, which was in the 1970s. So it's certainly due for this overhaul. Before I give you a few comments about the parks, I just wanted to introduce my colleague on the Glendale City Council, Frank Quintero. And I believe we have a few other, or at least one other city commissioners here in attendance. I saw Gary Cornell, who's one of our commissioners. Hi, Gary. And are there any other city commissioners or elected officials that I'm not seeing? Okay, no. Well, this park is a park renovation that really came about from the desire of the neighborhood, the people in the community, all of you who said that they want changes in the park. You asked for new play equipment with shade. You got it. You asked for new clean bathrooms. You got it. You asked for a new community building, and this is quite a beautiful community building. You asked for picnic areas with barbecue and shade, and we have plenty of those now. You asked for basketball courts with lights. You asked for security fence and lighting, and to move the parking lot in a place where it's more accessible and visible for police and from the neighborhood. You got that. And a safer crosswalk at Justin Avenue. And we're very happy to have been able to provide all of that for the community because this park has been, since the 1930s, a very well-loved and very used part of the community. I'm also happy to tell you that a lot of green elements were incorporated into the design of the park and of the community building. The entire park is plumbed for reclaimed water, so there's no potable water being used in this park. There are drought-tolerant plantings all around the park that reduce the use of water, and also bioswales, which capture water when it rains, soaks it into the ground, and then reuses the water as it evaporates back up. Also, recycled materials were used in all elements of the construction. So it's not only green in terms of all this beautiful new grass, but green in terms of its energy consumption. I want, once again, to thank all of you for coming today, and particularly the staff, Jess Duran, who's the heads of the Park and Community Department, and all of the staff who worked so hard to make this park a reality and to bring it in on time and on budget. Frank, did you want to say anything?
I'll be brief. You want to go enjoy the park. Well, let me say, this is such a happy, happy day for me and for so many other people. And let me start by saying that it was community people that really drove this effort. All of the meetings and the visits to the city hall, and it really made a difference, I think, for the city council. The staff also did a wonderful, wonderful job of listening, of putting together the right elements. And it's obviously a park that's going to be enjoyed by everyone, by neighbors, by the different families that have had businesses here for years and years. I'm sure during the day a lot of the employees will come here to relax. So it's a great day for Glendale. And I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I could swear that these old oak trees, they just look so much better, they feel so much better. I think everybody's uplifted by this. So it's great to be here today, and a happy 4th of July.
Good morning, folks. I'm Dave Ahern, the Assistant Director of Parks. A lot of what you see here today reflects what the community's asked for, and you have a real champion in the community in Ms. Vilma Vera. There she is right there. And so Commissioner Patrick and Mayor Friedman would like to present you with something.
Like Frank said, community involvement was so important in this park, and leading that cause was Vilma Vera. I have a mayor's commendation for you, which reads, "In appreciation for your dedication and outstanding commitment to improving the quality of life for the residents of our community. I commend you for your countless hours of volunteerism, and thank you for your generous spirit and giving nature." Wow. Thank you so much. Would you please say a few words?
Well,
this to you first.
Well,
So come on in front of the microphone.
I wasn't expecting this, but thank you very much. The waiting and I'm not going to say the fight, but it was so worth it to see all these children coming to a nice place. And I will start thanking the city of Glendale, especially to the city council members. I remember Frank Quintero. He was the back then he was the mayor, so he was the one who gave the last push to have the budget for this park, for this project, and also to the Department of Parks and Recreation, to all the staff members of that department, and especially for Mr. Bagumian, who was, poor thing, he was, it's going to happen, Vilma. I go, when is going to happen? It's going to happen, trust me. So I was glad to be the voice of the neighborhood, and now they're going to come and bring the children and have a nice place to play with. And like they say, if a child grows up in a nice, decent, and safe environment, there is a big challenge for the child to be a better human being in the future. So thank you for all of us. I wasn't expecting this, but thank you very much.
You're very, you're very lucky to have someone like Vilma in your community that is willing to step forward and take responsibility and really work for your community. So congratulations and thank you so much. Now I would like to introduce Jess Duran, who is the Director of Community Services and Parks Department, and he's got a few responsibilities today, so I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the men and women of the Community Services and Parks Department, we are very proud to deliver another park project to this community on the west side of Glendale, where park space and recreational facilities are very badly needed. We would like to thank the City Council and the Community Services and Parks Commission for their ongoing support and for giving us the opportunity to work on this project and deliver this project to your community. We'd like to thank the redevelopment staff of Phil Lanzafame and Hassan Hagani, the director and special assistant director, for helping to steer the funding. I think the mayor mentioned that we use redevelopment funding for this project, and that helped to make it possible. At this time, my job is to recognize and thank the project team for another job well done. That project team consists of Mr. Dave Ahern, who you briefly heard from a minute ago. Dave is the project management administrator and the acting assistant director of the department, and he does a great job leading the project management staff and getting these projects done. The lead project manager, as you or most of you know, is or was Shahin Begumian. Shahin. And for those of you that know Shahin, he takes his projects very, very personally. They're like his children, and he doesn't let you do anything to harm his projects. You know, Vilma almost mentioned that a part of it was a fight, and we have to thank Shahin for Vilma's wrath, because I know Vilma was on top of him, and together they helped get this project done. So we're very pleased and we're very proud of that. The mayor mentioned the general contractor on the project, who was Electro Construction Corporation of Los Angeles, and their president, Ray Drexler. A lot has been mentioned about the trees and the landscaping and what a beautiful job was done there. And that was done under the direction of Barry Greenstein of Landshades Incorporated. And the architectural design firm was Hirsch & Associates of Anaheim, led by Patrick Hurst, the AIA principal. Thank you. That's all I have to say. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Commissioner Patrick.
Thank you, Jess. And now I would like to reintroduce Dave Ahern, who has some recognition to do.
Hi, folks. Let's ask Barry and Ray to come on up here. These are our contractors that built this park, brought it in on time, on budget. They are longtime local contractors. They've done a lot of work with the city. They're really a great group to work with. And you talk about first-class men. These are two first-class guys here, and this place reflects who they are. It reflects their quality. They are just terrific. So why don't you tell them a little bit about your company? There you go.
Hi, I'm Barry Greenstein. The company is Landshapes, and we're general contractors, and that's pretty much it. And I would just say that it was great working with Shahan. He's one in a million. Thank you.
I'm Ray Drexler with Electrical Construction Corp., general contractor, electrical contractors. We do a lot of city work, and actually we appreciate doing a lot of city work because we were pretty close. We're just on the other side of the LA River. And over the years we had created a very good relationship with you guys, and try to be there whenever we can. And hopefully we'll continue to do so, and we really appreciate working for the city. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
One more thing. Absolutely. And I do have to admit, it was a pleasure working on this project with Shahan, because it made the job a lot easier. He was hands-on, needed to have something answered, something taken care of. Johnny on the spot, we're right there, and appreciated working with him very much.
We have a tradition in the Parks Department that we call the Order of the Sword, and it is a fun idea that our people are champions of the great cause of building parks for this community. And like all great causes, they have symbols in those causes, from the times of antiquity where the Templar Knights, the Knights of the Round Table, the Samurai, the United States Marine Corps, all symbolized their rank and station and dedication with the sword. And so we have adopted that as our symbol for the steely-eyed parks men and women who bring these parks forward. So I'd like to make the first presentation to the newest member of the Parks family, and that's Commissioner Vartan Garpetian. Vartan, by virtue of your appointment to the commission, you are inducted into the Order of the Sword. As such, you are bound to the good works of the Parks Department. From this day forth, you shall be known as Vartan the Good. Here's your sword, sir.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
This is my last day with the Parks Department. I've retired from the city, but you're in good hands with many good people here. And one of those good people is someone that I've worked with for many, many years. He is our Parks Director, Mr. Jess Duran. Mr. Duran, you have been inducted into the Order of the Sword. You were a keeper of the sword in my absence. You are bound to the good works of the Parks Department. And from this day forth, you are bound by the sword. You, sir, for those of you that know Jess, you know what a gracious and decent guy he is. Always being above the fray, always looking to do what's right, not what's easy. And that takes courage, and you have to have a certain level of graciousness in your soul and in your heart. Gallant behavior. From this day forth, you shall be known as Jess the Gallant. You are welcome. Today's event gets planned by a number of people in our department. And, you know, it all comes together and everybody shows up and has a good time, but there is... the search is on for the person we need. But there's a lot of work that goes into these projects, not only in like today's event, but as we do these construction projects, you know, as you might imagine, the city of Glendale, we do a little bit of paperwork with everything that we do. We have insurance forms, we have waivers. Well, we've got a heck of a waiver if you ever need one. We've got a good one. All those things that get done, and there's one person that oversees all of it for us. She's the glue that holds us together, and that's Ms. April Robles. Come on up here, April. She is the person that we all rely on. She is loved by all of our staff and everyone that she works with. And so from this day forth, you shall be known as April the Beloved. There you go. I thought you were going to take your own picture.
Oh, no, my phone keeps ringing.
Don't cut the cake with it, whatever you do. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. We have one left, and that is our project manager, Mr. Shahin Bagumian. Mr. Bagumian has more experience in construction and development than anyone I know. And he is one of the top-notch project managers probably in the state of California. I've never worked with anyone as talented, knowledgeable, and as committed and dedicated to the work that he does. One of the other inspectors was telling me the other day that he just signed off the final on the building. He said, I met with that 4,800 RPM guy of yours because Shahin runs at full tilt all the time. He's got one speed, and that's full speed all the time. So we are fortunate to have him on our side and leading these projects for us. His work in this has not been easy. It takes dedication, commitment, and courage. From this day forth, you shall be known as Shahin the Courageous. lastly, we have two gifts for two guys that are very special to me. They do so much to help our city and our department. And with all the development that we've been doing in parks in the last few years, they've been essential to our success. So Jeff Halpert and Greg Ahern. Greg is my brother and the senior inspector for the fire department. Jeff is the city's fire marshal. Will you gentlemen come up here? And just for the record, because it did come up and it's unfortunate we have to mention it, none of these gifts are paid for with public funds. So just for the record. Gentlemen, we have a modest gift for you in an appropriately fire engine red bag to thank you each for the good work that you've done for our department and for the city. You know, it's great to be with you. If you don't come back and inspect again, we'll be fine with that too.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You want to reciprocate with a little gift?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
You've missed us this weekend.
That's true.
You want to do the speaking?
We noticed that Dave here, we got a few gifts for him also. In the fire department, you know, we know how much Dave loves the fire department. Love-hate relationship. Got him a nice little hat here to go off with.
Excellent.
We're going to shade him here. His own official fire department T-shirt, so he's out jogging. People will recognize him.
It's an ensemble.
Yeah. Glendale is a fire-wise community, so we got him a fire-wise polo shirt also.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
And we noticed that Dave didn't have his own sword.
Oh.
So, you know, Dave is my big brother. Some people say older brother. With me, he's always been my bigger brother. Always looked up to him over all the years. And all the years he's been here with the city. And it was a fight to find one of these things. We're not internet people. We had to go find someone who actually sell us one over the counter and take cash. So,
that's rare.
You know, Dave's had about 12 jobs in the city, worked in 5 divisions. Started out as a lineman's helper, digging ditches, doing underground. Was almost killed in a cave-in. The shoring collapsed. He was pinned, had to be dug out, and a whole bunch of other things. He's worked on all kinds of projects. You look at your Brand Boulevard cars dealership, he done all those dealerships. We did those together as his inspector. And I said, you want me? He goes, well, might as well have you, because when the fire engineers come in, they're just going to get you anyways. And then the parks project came on, and I'm older, and I just can't do all those high rises and stairs anymore, so now I do parks, the slides and such. So we did Dave. So we don't quite have a name for Dave except for Dave the Great. Yeah. And that's what we're going to call him. Thank you, Dave.
Very much.
And that's sharp. Don't cut yourself.
With all of these swords, you know that the Parks Department is heavily armed. So when you go there, be very nice to people.
Do not litter.
Yeah. My sister-in-law, Barbara Ahern, is here. And Jeff, introduce your family, please.
Sure. I can't do the mic. My wife is Nushin, sitting in the back, my wave. And my two youngest kids came with me, Eitan and Avi. And I don't want to belabor the presentation because we just want to enjoy the park. But I just want to mention that, you know, as Dave said, half jokingly, if we'd never come back and never inspect his projects, he'd be fine off without us. But I just want to say that he is one of the most gracious and friendly and great guys to work with, because when we do have issues, we do have problems, they do come up. They're almost inevitable with any construction project. It's a pleasure to work with him. He appreciates what we do. He understands what we do. And we always work together to try to find a solution. So it's been great. We're going to really miss him. The city will really miss him. We'll feel it in the future. We hope that we'll be able to fill the void, but that'll be almost impossible. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to conclude there because it's hot and people, I think, want to get something to eat. And I'll turn it back over to Commissioner Patrick.
I just want to add my good wishes and thanks to Dave Ahern also. He's done a fabulous job. I've known him a long time. We both worked for the city for a long time, and he's just done a great job. And you will be very missed, Dave.
Thank you.
You've got to give the mayor her plaque.
Oh, okay.
It's your job.
Okay. Oh, boy. They didn't tell me I got to do this. This is wonderful. Mayor Friedman, will you join me? This is a plaque that says, "Thank you for your leadership and support in helping this facility become a real part of the community. With much appreciation, Community Services and Parks Department."
Thank you so much.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get this ribbon cut and start enjoying the park. So I'm going to invite city officials, elected officials, city staff, the contractor, and the architect. 1, 2, 3.